Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Cynthia, good to see you. George, good to see you. And excellent, Jonathan, good to see you, my man. Hope everyone is well. So today, let's have a chat. Have a chat about anything you want to talk about, of course. I was also been experimenting a bit with meal placement recently. And I've found some pretty cool things, actually. What works for me, anyway. Something that's been working for me recently. So, let me see. The link is in the description there. If anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome today. Anyone's welcome to join. And hello, Josephine. Good to see you. Morning, beautiful people. Yeah, so let's get chatting. So this week I posted up a pre-workout meal that I've sort of been experimenting with. So meal placement, and I found some a little bit different to what I usually do, and it's been working quite well. Of course, I need sort of keep doing these things for more than a couple of weeks or months or so to see any sort of long-term sort of benefits. But I have found that recently a good sized meal about 2 hours before a workout, 2 hours before the gym, for example, has been quite comfortable. Before, like obviously when I ate carbs or even protein shakes, I would always find that to be quite bloating. So I think that on the carnivore diet, it's far more comfortable. You don't get that bloat, that heavy sitting sort of bloated feeling, and it makes it very uncomfortable when you're trying to exercise or any kind of training. Bacon Runner, good to see you. Laney, how are you? Thanks for joining me. So I found that my routine at the moment has changed somewhat. So I'm experimenting with that because I do have a morning session. My morning routine is pretty much the same. I still do my ice baths, breath work, and I'll do some apnea work, like apnea sprints and so on and so on. And then I'll go to the gym later on in the day after I've done a few other things. So a 2 hour, like a pre-workout or sort of in between sort of meal, 2 hours before training has been very good, been very comfortable. And I've improved my workouts because the intensity can stay high right through the entire workout. And even afterwards, I have found that I just don't need to eat so much afterwards as well. So I think that's been beneficial as well so far for me, anyway. I don't think it has changed. It hasn't changed anything in my recovery phase. I always do my recovery breath work after training, and it gets me into that rest and digest sort of mode. But I have found that I don't need a post-workout. Like I usually don't eat a post-workout meal for a couple of hours anyway. But actually, I haven't needed one for the last few days at all until dinner. So I found that to be my glucose levels have been more steady throughout the day. My energy levels have been more steady throughout the day. I don't get those hunger signals, and it feels pretty good. So I'm going to write this up into a Substack anyway in the next week, and I'll show people my eating plan, my eating plan at the moment, and how that's been working and how that's been affecting me. Again, this comes down to a lot of you get a lot of myths when it comes around meal planning or placement when it comes to the fitness industry. Right? A lot of it, I know that when I was younger, and even today though, you have a look at the average trainer. They are always talking about pre-workout, post-workout meals, and pre-workout drinks, and so on and so on, and the need to, like, for faster recovery, you have to eat within 30 minutes after training. That's all horseshit. It's trying to, basically, it's just trying to sell you more products and so on, ultra processed crap. I always found that pre-workout meals or pre-workout drinks and so on like that would always leave you uncomfortable while training. You'd be bloated and all sorts of problems. So trying to force yourself all these products in so that you could build muscle, because that's what the industry tells you, and it just makes you fat, and you can't train as well. You can't train with the intensity that you should be training with. And then, of course, the post-workout meal, and it's common belief that you couldn't recover, or your recovery would be much slower if you don't eat within that first 30 minutes, and that's complete horseshit. I mean, if your intensity is high anyway for your training, it's going to take at least a few days for you to recover anyway. It's not going to make any difference at all whether you eat within that first 30 minutes or not, as long as you are getting your body is an ecosystem. So as long as you are getting the nutrients that your body requires for your activity level throughout the day, I've found that it's not going to make a difference when you eat it. Okay, as long as you are, I'm talking about a meal 2 hours before training, because you don't want to be bloated, you don't want to feel heavy, you want to be able to, even though you want that energy level for that that constant intensity, you don't want to feel uncomfortable while you're training. Hey, link's not working. Okay, mate, hang on a sec, I'll try it again. Try that. Okay. I found that what works for me, my recovery though, is to get into that rest and digest state as soon as you can after training. So for me, even on the drive home from the gym, I engage in low regulating breathwork technique. Okay, and that has been far more helpful than trying to suck down a protein shake or meal immediately after. George, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, very well. That first link, for some reason, it's taken me to a blank page. So here I am. So that's good.
All right, cool. Well, as long as it's in there now.
Yeah.
No all right. So anyone's welcome to join us today. The link is right there in the chat. And as I'm talking about these, meal placement around training, around exercise, I will be writing this stuff up in a Substack soon, so you can read about it a bit more. And I'll give you the plan that I've been using recently, and you can try it out for yourself. I think this is all about nuance as well. When it comes to meal placement, doesn't matter whether you're exercising or not. It all comes down to what is going to feel best for your routine. I can give you some ideas, of course, but basically these are things that you're always going to have to test for yourself to see what works best for you. So just something to give you an idea anyway. Okay, Lainey had 2 duck eggs today. All right, that's cool. Haven't had eggs for weeks, and oh boy, do I know it. In and out of the yeah, fair enough. Duck eggs are very fatty, the size of the yolks and so on. how's things going with you and Lainey, George?
Yeah, great. Lainey's full of energy. She really changed her mental health on February the 1st. She decided that it was time to really re-engage with life, and since then now she's just started doing the Kilts Health coaching course. So she's actually taken it up, and just
good.
still persisting with the cold showers, full of energy. She's now also very active on Facebook with the cancer groups, giving advice to the people who are just starting that journey. So yeah, she's doing incredibly well. I'm very well myself. Always,
yeah. I got to be careful with some of those groups on Facebook. They like their cancer groups. I tried that for a little while, but honestly, they get very upset when you tell them that you should eat meat and you jump in the ice, and they are sort of like and do some breath work, and they just don't believe you. It's very difficult.
True, but the Lainey had a very interesting meeting with her oncologist on Tuesday, I think it was, and basically her bloods were so good, especially her triglycerides, that he actually did say, "Well, what are you eating?" And I thought that Lainey would probably duck the question and say, "Oh, just like normally." But no, she looked him in the eye and said, "Carnivore." So he'd never heard of it. And what are you talking about? Then he said, she said, "Well, I don't eat any carbs." He didn't really understand. So she explained that we eat only meat and, a few other things like shrimps, for example. And we try eggs. And he said, "Well, what does your husband make of this?" And so she said, "Well, he's carnivore too." And then she explained my type 2 diabetes dramatic cure, as the NHS call it. And he didn't really have an argument. He was more interested than he was prepared to push back, because he couldn't argue with her excellent blood results, and he couldn't argue with my type 2 diabetes story. So he was kind of interested, and the nurse actually was very interested as well. And her quite immediate question was, "What about the expense? Meat is so expensive." And Lainey just basically turned around to her and said, "Well, we don't buy any of the other stuff, the cakes, the chocolate, the crisps, the cookies, the takeaways, nothing basically." So she had a bit of a light bulb, and she said, "Oh yeah, if you don't buy any of that, then you've got more money to spend on meat." So yeah,
that's right.
Incidentally, Lainey went up to the mobile butcher the visits once a week in town today, and got spent 100 English pounds on a sirloin, and we got finished, and he cut it up for her, and we got 15 good steaks out of it for 100 English pounds, which is roughly $200 Australian, I think.
Yeah.
So they're very happy with that.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like when you mention that to people, they don't realize that if you cut out the price of everything, it's like everything, like other things are maybe cheaper by like per gram, for example, but you're buying a lot more of it.
Exactly.
But you're not. Packet of chips. Okay, so maybe a packet of chips is $5-6. Yeah, sure, that's cheap, but how often do you keep on buying that crap?
Yeah.
And what do you get out of it? It's absolutely useless, isn't it?
You get poisoned.
Exactly. You get nothing but poison.
No, there's no nutritional value there at all.
No, of course.
So anyway, the great news is that the two members of the mainstream medical industry who had never heard of carnivore now know what carnivore is. So it was a brilliant just piece of spreading the word. Really, it's
I like that. I like that at least her oncologist actually listened to her about it, and I think that's. I mean, they can't argue, can they? My oncologist team are the same. Every time I speak to them, they still can't believe that I'm still here, and they still can't believe that I've made such a recovery. But then even as late as last year, like there's like, how did you stop taking the the stuff for reflux and all this sort of stuff? Well, just don't eat carbs. I don't eat that shit, and it's gone. I don't need to worry about that anymore.
I mean, one of the carnivores who used to live in this town but lives abroad now, but he comes home every now and again, and he started carnivore to get rid of GERD, gastroesophagus reflux disorder, I think it is GERD.
Yep.
So yeah, he had acid reflux, and our great friend Lauren Tucker, who lives a few miles from us, she's actually in Healing Humanity, the film. Her main problem was not being able to swallow anything, not being able to keep anything in her stomach, and until one day when she was cooking lamb for the rest of the family, she went against the nutritionist orders, ate the lamb, woke up the next morning, had some lamb chops for breakfast, and hasn't looked back since. She got down to 7.5 stones. Oh God, I can't remember what the immediate translation to pounds is, but she's now back up. The last time I spoke to her about it, she's back up to 9.5 stones. So she's 28 pounds up from when she was dangerously low, a dangerously low weight. Yeah, and that was another classic case of the stomach acid being totally wrong. Until she ate meat again, and now no problems at all.
Yeah,
I was actually a couple of months ago. I was in. I went out for a sort of lunchtime social. It was somebody's birthday, and we had a vegetarian there. Very nice chap, complaining bitterly about acid reflux, and that his doctor had put him on medications for it. He's vegetarian, so it all ties in. It's all making sense now. Yeah, and of course, right. I didn't say anything because I'm not very popular when I start preaching in the pub. So, I sat there with my non-alcoholic beer and just let him get on with it. Let him get on with the complaining.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I know people that sort of get sick of hearing about it, and they get sick of being preached at about
Yeah,
exactly. I know what I mean. That's just the way people are too. They don't want to know really too much information. They think take a pill and everything is fine. But no, you're right. I mean, the only time, especially like after chemo for me, I had a very large ulcer in my stomach, and I had like quite bad GERD. So I was on a lot of medications for the reflux. But even that didn't manage it so well, and it took years before. At first, I was obviously only eating meat because that was all I could eat. But then later on, when I tried to add in different foods and stuff like that, the reflux came back. So it was all about that, really. And it makes it very difficult when you can't eat.
We're not as rare as we were. My work agent, the guy who gets me work through his company, he's a full blown carnivore. He's actually a nutty carnivore, to be honest with you, because he's really into the science in that. And you might have heard of this, DC. I keep on meaning to ask about it. Tongue scraping. Is it something you've heard of? He's got a metal device which he believes that the tongue holds toxins. And he actually scrapes it. He does 5 strokes of his tongue with this metal scraper every morning, and he says it's amazing what comes off his tongue. And so, it's not something I've looked into yet, but I do. If I brush my teeth, I do scrub my tongue as well, thanks to him. So, is it something you're aware of, Dave? Or?
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a common thing now. A lot of people have been doing that. I mean, it's just another one of these sort of health hacks that people think they can clean their tongue. So, I mean, I do scrub my tongue when I brush my teeth. But honestly, I don't think that even that on like carnivore diet, I think it's a lot less than what it would be if you're on carbs, and it certainly was it's a lot less now for me than what it used to be anyway. That my tongue, especially for years after on chemo, because my immune system was so low, all my blood markers, everything was so low for so long, my tongue was yellow. Like I had a yellow thick film all over my tongue, right? So I had to really scrape that stuff off and scrub that with the toothbrush a lot. But like I'd have when I scrubbed it with the toothbrush, it's like my toothbrush would go yellow from it. That's how thick it was. It's kind of it was a really weird sort of stuff. But now my tongue's completely red. I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I'm tempted to go back to the dentist because I gave up going to the dentist in 2024, I think, because I've been cancelled 6 times by my dentist in the last few years. 2 different dentists, so I've just given up trying to make appointments because it's such a logistical nightmare. She always lectures me on my health when I go there, but then she has to cancel because she's in such poor health herself. But I'm very tempted to go back because my teeth are. I'm sure that my teeth have recovered quite a bit. I would love to. I think I will do one day. Oh, another story, another Lainey story. She has to have prescription glasses, and she's been aware of the fact that her glasses no longer suit her. Her prescription glasses no longer suit her. So she went to Specsavers here in the UK on, I don't know, she'll tell me in a minute, maybe Thursday, maybe yesterday, or maybe Wednesday. Had her eyes tested, and yeah, she needs new prescription glasses, but her eyes have got better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was exactly the same. I was the same because I have astigmatism in my eyes. So I used to have to wear glasses for reading and for using the computer. But yeah, I haven't used them for years now. Actually,
no, exactly.
I mean,
So yeah,
sitting on the back there.
Yeah, so every Lainey story at the moment is one of joy and happiness, from cold showers through to really taking the Kills Health coaching course, through to having her bloods came back perfect, and then having the change.
Always improving. That's great.
It's
That's
incredible,
great to see. Yeah, always improving. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and the mental health as well. I think it's
I
think we just happened to come on that Sunday morning. I don't know why you're on a Sunday. It's not unusual time for you. And I think it was February the 1st, and she said, right. And so she decided to, after 2 years, as you know, she decided to engage directly with you. And it kind of changed her mindset. And next thing you know, she was in the cold shower. Next thing you know, she's basically happy lady.
It really does. It really does help your nervous system. You know, the cold water. I mean, I know people don't. I mean, they don't until they try it for themselves, and it's kind of difficult to get people to, to convince people to try these things. But it's such a simple thing, but it has actually such a profound effect, really. So I'm really glad she started doing that, and she's feeling much better. That's good. Yeah. Josephine said, I worked out on my electric bill. I pay $848 a year in surcharges. They don't even come out anymore. Yeah, that's true. They don't even come out to measure the readings anymore, do they? They just take an estimate. Juliet, good to see you.
Yeah, we got a fantastic gang in tonight, Dave. I can tell you. Brad's here.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, Brad's good. Honesty pays off. Yes, it does. They can't realistically deny good results. No, that's the thing. Like when they've got your blood results, all your blood markers improving, all your health markers are improving right in front of them. They can't deny that. They can't say, oh well, this must be something else, can they? So you can't deny the evidence when it's right in front of you. Although many do try.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like vegans, for example. Jonathan, good to see you, my man. I use my electric toothbrush on my tongue. Yeah. Doctor said the yellowing is my low immune system and lack of lymph nodes. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's your low immune system. You get this yellow film sort of develop on your tongue. And it's probably one of the first markers you can see when you have an immune or a lymphatic issue. Okay, a problem with your lymphatic system. You're going to get yellowing, sort of cake. It's kind of like yellow cake buildup on your tongue. Okay, so there's something for you to easy for you to watch out for. But yeah, I don't have any of that issue anymore, so it's good.
Isn't the yellow cake something to do with the nuclear industry in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some Australian friends over here back along.
Yeah, that could be cause of it too. That could be cause of it too. 3 years of chemotherapy. I could probably power about 15 houses a year now. Okay, yeah. Hello, Lainey. Yeah, that's mine. Just good news now. Yeah, waiting. That's good. Let me see. Was it? His name again. Tennessee. Oh, if he had a puppy pulls through it. Not sure what happened by the sounds to me. Car or kangaroo got him. Oh, okay.
It's a shame.
Good morning. Good morning. I tried tongue scraping for a little while, but this is right. No carbs, very little. Dairy really transforms your mouth. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's another good sign, isn't it? It's just it always comes down to that, doesn't it? You have when you go off the carbohydrates, when you take out all these starchy carbs and all this other crap out of you and toxins and shit out of your diet, and we are so used to the way we were feeling, the way everything was going. We thought it was a normal thing. When you take all that crap out and you realize, oh shit, this is not a normal thing. I feel much better, and obviously I don't have to worry about my tongue and all these other things. It's amazing.
Is anybody else not brushing their teeth as much as they used to? Because I don't half as much as I used to anymore. Because
I only do it. Yeah, I only do it maybe every 3 or 4 days.
Okay, I'm maybe once every other day, but often, if I wake up in the morning and I've got the slightly bitter taste or something, I'll just go and wash my mouth out of water and just rinse.
Yeah,
and
that's
spit.
pretty much all you need. Yeah, just a bit of water. I don't use toothpaste anymore. I just like if I do brush my teeth, it's just water.
Yeah, I'm still in the habit of using toothpaste, but it's probably a habit I could get out of. Really,
I haven't used toothpaste with fluoride for a long time, for the last 10 years, or actually longer, maybe 12 years actually. I've always, when I did use toothpaste, it was always fluoride free, but even those toothpastes still have other stuff in them that I really don't really want.
Yeah, I know Lee Copus, Kent Carnival, he's very anti using anything other than, I think, baking soda or something in his mouth, bicarbonate soda.
Yeah, bicarb soda is really good. Some people use coconut oil.
Oh yeah, I've heard that as well.
Yeah. And even salt is not bad either, like just salty water. Salty water is quite good for that as well, because salt is good for killing germs as well. So salt water is good like that. So that there's
yeah, exactly, Dave. We got Erin in the house tonight as well, and can I just congratulate her on the shorts she put up fairly recently, because there's somebody out there who calls themselves Carnivore Weight Loss. And he's been targeting Erin for quite some time, and he said, "You're doing carnivore wrong." So Erin put out a great short of a rip-off of a rebuttal. Basically, it was hilarious. And she put the before, during, and after photographs. She said, "Tell me I'm doing carnivore wrong." So I don't know who this Carnivore Weight Loss is, but beware. We think it might possibly be a troll using the word carnivore to try and sneak in under the radar. But well done, Aaron. That was a good one, mate. It really was very, very funny. So we've got
there are people like that. I mean, even in the carnivore space, there's always going to be people who are fanatical, right? They always, but they like I always say, when people get so obsessed about something, and it's very easy to do, because if they don't have anything else going on in their life, they find this one thing and they become obsessive about it. So you get these diehards that are like, oh, you have to be like 100% carnivore, eat raw only, and only beef and only water and all this sort of ridiculous nonsense. But these are the kind of people that, like I always say, because they are so hard on themselves, they're so strict, that they burn out. They won't continue. Like they might do it for a year or two, or even 3 or 4 or 5, but then afterwards they're gonna like, well, this is just too much, and then later on will come the videos of it didn't work for me and why I have to add other crap in. So it's just when you get obsessive like that, it really is silly. They just don't have enough else going on in their life.
Yeah, that's very true.
Good to see you anyway, Aaron. Thanks for joining us, mate. Hi, Aaron. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm talking about, Yeah, kangaroo got him. Poor little thing. Yeah.
Do kangaroos attack dogs or puppies over there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't go out of their way to attack them, but they if they feel threatened, dogs, quite often will chase after a kangaroo, for example.
Okay.
Right. And so a kangaroo, if it feels threatened, it will defend itself, and kangaroos are very, very powerful.
Yeah. Was it you, Dave, or was it Dave Mack who put on Facebook? I know you lost your Facebook, but during Halloween, that somebody had an electronic monster outside their house, and a kangaroo was inspecting it, and it sort of went into
it. Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
it was it.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, he got a bit threatening and kicked the crap out of it. That was funny. Yeah. Yeah, because you quite often get like kangaroos will come into like closer to the suburbs because they love the green grass, right? Especially when it's dry season in winter, and so when you get decorations like yard decorations or anything like that, if that startles the roo, they're gonna smash it. I've seen them take out an entire fence before. Like they just go straight through it. They're strong animals.
Yeah, so you got the two Brits, the red and the grey. The reds are the big ones.
The reds are the big ones. Yeah, the greys get pretty big. Like 5.5 foot, or sort of about that size, and they get quite broad across. Like the reds, though, they get wider across the chest than me. All right.
Yeah,
they are huge. They're like over 6 foot, and they're incredibly lean, powerful animal. So I'd like to know their secret.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, the thing is, like, this is actually the secret is the reason why kangaroos are so muscular, right, is because they can break down the amino acids out of grass into in their body, whereas we can't. Right, so they are basically chewing on amino acids all day long because they graze all day. They graze all day long. All right, even when they're like resting in the grass sort of thing, they'll sit there and eat. And of course, they're always outside in the sun. And this sort of stuff helps them as well. But they can actually absorb the amino acids in the grass, and so basically that's what they are eating all day long.
They're not ruminants, are they? They're marsupials, so it's almost like they're eating like a ruminant in many ways.
Yeah, very much
like a rodent. Yeah, rabbits and hares. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, rabbits and hares, the same thing. It's just kangaroo is just a giant rabbit.
Yeah.
So, but that's why they're not really good eating either. It would be good if they were, because if they were fatty, like a ruminant would be good.
Yeah, true.
Because there's so many of them, be much easier than cattle. But the meat's too lean, so you end up with protein poisoning or rabbit starvation, basically.
Yeah. We got the gang turning out. Another couple more shout outs here. We got Cynthia from Iowa and we have Rick from Florida. Everybody knows Rick from Florida.
Hey,
and
Rick,
Sharon from Delaware has just turned up as well. So we're getting quite a lot of the KMT turning up tonight, Dave. You're getting very popular in the United States of America, which is a good thing.
Well, it's always good, isn't it? Yeah, it's always good to have people join us, and yeah. Hi, George, Josephine, Jonathan, Laney. Good to see you, Cynthia. Thanks for joining us. Done cleaning the kitchen. Damn thing keeps getting dirty. Yeah, I hate that. Now I'm listening at the highest.
Cynthia is a veteran of your channel, but it's actually met her for the first met Cynthia on here back in September of 24. So I've known Cynthia through
great. Yeah, she's great, very. Yeah. I agree, Cynthia. It's a bloody nuisance, the kitchen. Every time you use it, it gets dirty again, doesn't it? Yeah. I want it to stay clean. When you clean the house, I just want it to stay that way. I don't want to have to do it again. It's really annoying.
Yeah, it's great in my house. Because I go to work and the cleaning fairy turns up every day, and when I come home, it's nice and clean.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, seriously, Laney is now has now reached the point where she is registered to not be able to work, but she's now getting to the point where she's, what do I do next? Which is why she's taken on the coaching course, I think, as much as anything else. It's
yeah, it does get that way.
She's not supposed to have more energy now than she had before she was started on her journey, and yet she has. And but she's
well, it gets that way, doesn't it? Like when you're sick, you don't think about it, or you don't care so much. Especially like, I was stuck in bed for years, so long. It was like I just didn't care. So, but when you start getting energy back, and you feel like, that's when you start to feel like, okay, I want to do something. I feel I'm getting bored, and you need to get out and try something. But that gets really frustrating when you can't really move so much.
Yeah, that's true. I say not so much the cleaning fairy; it's more like the cleaning whirlwind nowadays. It's
lots of energy. Good. Keep the place nice and clean. I rinse my mouth in the mornings just with bicarb toothpaste. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it's good to rinse your mouth out. I like to do that. I even gargle. Actually, with the iodine drops that I have for my water, I do have a little spray bottle, and it's mixed. Say, I think it's 90% water and 10% iodine, and I just give it a shake and just spray like a rinse for the mouth. So I like doing that as well, because the iodine, it will obviously help kill germs and stuff as well. But it makes your mouth feel very refreshed. So that's something I do actually sometimes. So not every day, but I do use that. Always clean my teeth twice a day. Yeah, love the fresh minty breath. Fair enough. Fair enough. There was a mouthwash I used to use when I was going through chemo, because my mouth was like just full of ulcers from the treatment. It was just water, bicarb. I used rainwater because it was just what we collect here. Rainwater, bicarb soda, salt, and a little bit of a mint leaf. At first I used a mint leaf, but eventually I just took the leaf out. But that was actually very good for cleaning the mouth as well. So, yeah. Where do you think that was?
Yeah, Erin's troll, the carnivore weight loss egg they're going on the a few numbers after then.
Well, it could be a vegan. I mean, like I said, I mean, some people just get obsessive, and those are the type of people that always burn out anyway. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Don't worry too much what other people say, because 95% of the population are just morons. So, or just crazy about something anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this person is carnivore. I don't think this person is carnivore at all. Okay, just the mental issues. Yeah, it could be that too. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there with mental issues these days. So, Cynthia, sounds like you need barbecue. That's how I keep the kitchen clean. Yeah, that's a good one, Brad. Yeah, it's a good way to add it. A very good way to keep the kitchen clean. Yeah, use the barbecue, but then you got to clean the damn barbecue. Yeah.
Hello, Amy's in the house tonight as well, DC, all the way from Mishawaka, Indiana, a Notre Dame supporter, and she's just been on for hours live as well. So we've had a really good evening tonight, because we've had.
Oh, that's good.
We got straight from Juliet to Amy to yourself, so it's a real treat on YouTube this evening.
Oh, that's good. It's good to have it's good. This is a good thing about the community, isn't it? Like having good, like-minded people you can talk to about this stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
I like that.
And then, of course, when we finish here, then Grandma will be starting up at 2 a.m. my time. I'll probably go and say good morning. It doesn't end. No, actually, it is Dr. Pils's ambition to have this 24/7 rolling global live YouTube, basically for that reason.
Yeah,
we're all working in three different time zones here, because it's UK, Oz, and well, more than that, there's 4 different time zones in in the States. How many time zones you got in Oz, Dave?
Let me see. I think it's four time zones.
Yeah.
Now it depends in winter, because the East Coast, like Queensland, doesn't use daylight savings, but the southern states do, like New South Wales, Victoria, and Tasmania. They use daylight savings. So in summer, there's probably 5 different time zones. But Australia is so broad across. There's like I think it's like a 4.5 to 5 hour time difference between East Coast and West Coast.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I've got friends over in WA, over in Perth, Mark and Cherise. Haven't seen them for many years. Friends in SA, and one of them has just turned back up in my hometown because he came to visit in 2006. I became very good friends with him, and he married a local girl and moved back to Australia some 10 years ago now. You know how it is. You stay in contact for a while, and then you lose contact. But good old Steve Molly Mole has just turned back up in town today. Because apparently his wife wanted to come home and live in England because she missed her family. So I've got my older SA mate back in town now. So he's going to be very, as Lainey pointed out, he's going to be very disappointed when he finds out that I've given up drinking. But yeah, so but I can still go and have a coffee with him or something.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. Like, it's kind of difficult. I mean, it's good when you meet up again every now and then. You sort of still stay friends, but it's difficult to stay in touch with everyone that you've met through life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. That's right.
I hope your dog is okay, actually, Josephine. But I mean, that happens, doesn't it? Kangaroos or cars, I guess. But kangaroos, they will defend themselves, and they're funny as hell sometimes. But they're a big, powerful animal.
Yeah. I'm getting the usual abuse in chat as well. We've got a couple of trolls in chat. Oh, one anyway.
Yeah, well, that always happens, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
I'm always a figure of fun whenever I'm online. It's usually the puppy issue, but but we're not talking about that tonight, so that's good.
Yeah.
Lainey still hasn't got her puppy.
She still hasn't got a puppy. Well, work on the more important things too. Get yourself an ice bath first.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, kangaroo meat's in the supermarket. Have you tried kangaroo meat?
Yeah, we have actually. But we do get it every now and again. It turns up in the supermarkets over here, and I think it turns up at food fairs, food trade fairs, that sort of thing. Yeah, definitely. We have had kangaroo and ostrich as well. We've had ostrich.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like it's not bad every now and then. It's very gamey, and but like I said, it's just not fatty enough either. It's too lean.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like eating a giant
most of exactly. Most of those rodents, you have to have bacon or beef salads in the eater.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
same with wild venison over here. We have bacon to it to give it more fat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you need to give it if you have like a mixed grill sort of thing, it's fine. It's good like that.
Oh, our friend Carnival Weight Loss has just turned up in the chat, Dave. Hello, Carnival Weight Loss. Yeah, there's the troll, the one who had a go at Erin, and Erin gave him a rebuttal. And here he is anyway. So
hello, Steph.
Mention his name, and here he is.
Is there parking lot kangaroo? Yeah, there is, Rick. There's a lot of parking lot kangaroo. Yeah, the problem is they're not like parking lot chickens. If you hit a parking lot kangaroo, you're gonna damage your car. Quite a lot of damage, especially these days with the plastic cars. So yeah, you hit a roo with your car, you're gonna write your car off.
Yeah, they got you got something called roo bars over there, is that? I think.
Yeah, roo bars.
Yeah. Known as bull bars, possibly elsewhere, but roo bars in.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I take a spare leash when walking my dogs in case they are ever attacked by another dog. Yeah, that's a good idea. You use the leash to take the air out of the dog. Okay, yeah. I wonder if this could work on a roo. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, is it? Oh, you could do that. Try it on a roo. You have to be quick though. You have to be very quick. Yeah. You see, I have to clean my engine often too. Oh yeah. I've been watching your engine videos too. You're doing well. I was just about to say that, George. Cleaning fairy. Yeah, roux mince has another strong flavor. Yeah, it is actually quite a strong flavor, kangaroo meat. And you'll need plenty of tallow or lamb fat, yeah, to moisten it. Yeah, exactly. Rocking Coach Amy, good to see you. Thank you. I'll have to catch up with some of these things. Where we going? Where we going? Where we going? Cannot keep up with all the lives, and yeah, it's like 24/7 now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's good. It's good though. I mean, the thing is, there's always something to do. It's great fun.
So do I. Not sure about DC's guest time. She doesn't mind giving you a hard time, does she?
No, she doesn't. The joys of being married, I suppose. That's the great thing.
Eric, let me see, Rick, have you been? Yeah, you been live happening today? Okay, maybe. I've been working outside mostly. Let me see. Live hopping today. Yeah. Okay, now I'm with you.
Yeah.
The vegan. All right. Terrorize. Drake's carnivore weight loss. Drake's ringdings are my favorite carnivore snack. I'm not sure what Drake's ringdings are.
I'd say it's not a reliable source, to be honest. It's carnivore weight loss. It's our friend who tried to give Erin a hard time and basically proved himself to be a complete idiot. So,
okay.
Yeah. So we can safely ignore him. Whether he wants to stick around or not, it's entirely up to him. But
All right.
We'll
put up with the comments.
He is not worth paying attention to. He was very offensive towards Erin, who is a lovely girl. And so stick around if you want to. Don't bother us.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So, all right. So, what were we talking about? So, actually, did you notice the trailer video for this one?
Dr. Richard McCarness from 1958. Absolutely. Yes. And where is it? I have Lainey very kindly bought me the up-to-date version the other day, which is on Amazon. So
cool.
It's there. So I haven't read it yet because I haven't got time. Why? Because there's too many lives on YouTube.
That's right.
Stop the live so I can start catching up on my book reading. You know, how am I supposed to read all my books if everybody's doing lives all the time?
Yeah, it makes it difficult.
Processed to Death, John Espina, not opened. Carnivore, the manual, Duncan Smart, not opened. So, come on, guys, give us a break. I need some time to do some reading as well.
I think it's good. Like, there's a lot of different takes on these, like, all these books. Everyone keeps coming out with these books recently. I just think I suppose it's a good thing that, like, they're starting to spread the word as well. But I don't know. To me, it just seems like done to death at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's bound to happen. But it's great that people are writing the books. I mean, if you go into a sort of bookshop, now you'll find that there's a vegan section and a vegetarian section. But I think we're getting to the point where we could do with a carnivore section. So the more people who write books, the more likely you are to find a carnivore section.
Well, there are ketogenic ketogenic sections in bookstores as well. And that's part of it. I mean, carnivore is really a ketogenic diet. It's just the extreme level of it. I still don't think it, like, I suppose that's just one way of labeling it, but I don't see it as an extreme diet at all. I think it's just our natural, appropriate diet. But compared to what we are used to, I guess you would express it as an extreme sort of hard left to the or an extreme 180 to the standard Western diet.
Yeah, true. But bear in mind the fact that veganism is a fad diet, because it never actually came into the English language until 1944. So
no, that's right.
It's just, I mean, the word carnivore has been around for a lot longer than that. And vegan actually is all it is was they broke it. They're an extreme version of vegetarian, because vegan is just an abbreviation of vegetarian. And take the first three letters and the last two, and they wanted to prove themselves so extreme that they changed the name from vegetarian.
Well, that's right. I mean, they were this just. I mean, it's exactly the same thing happens with when you get the lion diet, right?
Yeah.
So you get carnivore, and then there's the people who wanted to go extreme and just lion diet, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm pretty much ruminant only now, but that's not. I'm not the ruminant police. It's just I actually fare better on lamb and steak than I do on pork, on the monogastric animals.
Yeah.
And
well, that's something I've always said too. Is you're always going to feel better on the ruminants because well, for one, the fact that they're ruminants, but with monogastric, whatever they are fed on is the problem. If you had a clean source of pork, for example, and a clean source of chicken, it's not going to be a problem. But like pork and chicken meat on a natural diet is actually a lot darker than what you see in the supermarket. The reason why chicken's so white and pork is so white is because they're fed on grain, or worse, some of it just they're fed on soy pellets, or I've even seen cases where they're just fed on completely manufactured food entirely without any sort of growing of any kind. So that's the reason why you sort of want to avoid monogastric animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it comes to seafood's the same. Like they're still monogastric. I would avoid farmed fish, for example.
Salmon, definitely, yeah. Farmed salmon, I would avoid.
But not all of it is like that. Okay, like there are. I mean, you have low levels of farmed fish and higher levels, right? Like there are some good clean sources. Like even in Japan, some of the farmed fish is actually very good quality because they have very different regulations to what we have, for example. Whereas here they're just fed on soy, and they are horribly toxic. But again, I would just stick to the wild caught. I would only stick to wild caught seafood.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jeannie's saying she loves pork. I love pork as well, but it's I just prefer the ruminants. Actually, pork is a lot cheaper here. Laney's noticed that recently.
Yeah, pork's a lot cheaper here too.
Everything's going up. All the ruminants are going up. I don't know whether it's because people have cotton on to the health of ruminant meat, but whereas the lamb and the beef is going up exponentially, pork is actually on offer most of the time nowadays. So, who doesn't love pork crackling and pork fat? I do as well, very much so. But it's it's personal choice. And we've also discovered through a friend of ours called Lydia Powell over in Kent, who hosts meetups. We discovered an Irish wholesaler, or what do you call it, online. We order online from Ireland, and Laney gets the beef belly, which she cuts into beef bacon, and so we've actually replaced the pork bacon or pig bacon with beef bacon, and it's nice.
That again, like bacon is great for things like potassium, right? It's very high in potassium, but again, I think the reason that it's so high in potassium is because it's processed in salt, right? Because you get potassium from a good salt, right? But I mean, pork meat is quite good for that. But again, it all comes down to the source, and what was that animal fed, and that's the problem with monogastric, So you have to be careful about that. Yes, Cynthia, I use I use iodine drops in my water because my water is rainwater, but I still filter it, and sometimes I'll even boil it. But then I need to, when you take all the minerals out of your water, you need to remineralize it. So I always put a good mineral salt in. Mine's a hand harvested salt flake. It's a red salt from here in Australia. It's hand harvested. And quite often I'll put just 1 or 2 drops of iodine in it as well, just very small amount. You don't need much, just a very tiny amount, unless you are eating a lot of seafood, which I don't do in Australia. In Australia, but yeah, with the spray, yeah, it's just a very diluted sort of mixed spray, and then just spray the mouth is quite good. So, Jeannie, he does, but I love books. Okay, yeah, so use him to an excuse to buy them. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Hey, Juliet, still here. That's good. Hello, Amy again. Lainey, fair enough. Yeah, books are a good way to start a fire.
Oh, that's our friend. Don't worry about him.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's just get rid of that guy. He seems like an idiot.
Yes. Well, I say he's not an idiot, but he was one who was offensive to Aaron as well. So we don't really need.
Well, I mean, anyone who talks about burning books for the grill, it's obviously that's what the Nazis do. You know,
yeah,
must be a lefty. Yeah. Obviously you're. Yeah, obviously you're illiterate and can't read or write. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, of course there are a few books that I've read that probably desire a death by barbecue. yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, it's books are written by people. So there's quite a few books out there that are just absolutely garbage.
Oh, there was that great film called Reuben, in which Tom Conti played an author, and somebody asked him, "Do you read any trash novels or trash books?" He said, "Madam, there's no such thing as a trash book, only trash readers." So that's basically if a book is out there, then it means that somebody wants to read it.
Yeah, I suppose if you put it that way, like if you read trash, then obviously you're gonna then that's really up to you, isn't it? It's whether you take it in or not, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I love pork. Yeah, pork. Yeah, I mean, it is good meat. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, chicken's good meat too. I like pork because it's very fatty, but the problem is sourcing a clean source of pork is the problem. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as you know, I tend to eat raw at work, and I can't eat. I wouldn't eat raw pork, so that's another reason why I tend to go ruminant.
Yeah, yeah, it certainly wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't want to eat raw pork or raw chicken.
I mean, there are some that do, but it just doesn't appeal to me, really.
Oh, that's just. I mean, there are circumstances where I have seen people eating raw chicken, for example, but it has to be extreme. Like you've just killed this animal. Like there's no chance of salmonella and all that sort of stuff, right? But again, you do get extreme people. Like I saw some girl on, I think it was on TikTok. She was promoting everyone, like showing everyone how she eats raw chicken just from the supermarket stuff. And this is the mentality of these people. Someone warned her about salmonella poisoning, and she said, and her reply was, "No, I don't eat salmon."
No, what
seriously? Yeah, yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Ginny. I still do find.
Oh, mate, yeah. I remember in the UK about I can't remember how long ago it was, but there was obviously paedophiles are very unpopular, and apparently a pediatrician got attacked by a mob because they didn't know what pediatrician meant. So that is a sort of mentality you are dealing with a large majority of the human race. Thankfully, not in the carnivore community, because we do seem to attract people with rather large IQs, which is nice, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds out there. There really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Jeannie. Like Paul, however, my father told me yesterday it was a suicide diet. Well, yeah, that's it's hard to. I mean, I'm in the same situation. Like pretty much my whole family, like people around me, do not believe in the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
But like I've had conversations with people, like a room full of people, every one of them obese, some of them suffering from chronic illness, some of them actually from dementia and other things. And when I tell them like I only eat meat because that's the only source of actual nutrients for your body, it's like, oh no, I don't believe that. I'm like, okay, well, it's obviously working well for you, so it's, you can't argue with stupid. So I just don't bother.
I don't think anybody who knows me now questions it. It's just they don't do it themselves, but they don't try and give me any pushback anymore because they know it's they've seen the miracle happen. It's you can't argue with my results. It's simple as that.
Yeah. I'm eating seafood tonight because of Lent.
Okay,
I'm not sure how that works. Like you get through Lent, and it's obviously like a fasting period, I guess. Yeah, so don't eat meat or something. But fish is seafood is still meat. Yeah, it's still animal. I'm not sure how all that sort of stuff works, but
yeah. So I noticed that message, Juliet. Juliet, actually, it was Juliet who put me wise to this idiot earlier on today, so I was well aware of the facts of who he was. So yeah, Juliet, thanks for letting me know. But my phone's on silent. But we didn't need the message because you told me earlier who this person was. Carnival, whatever it is. I can't remember. He's so irrelevant. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, he's gone. So there we go.
Sorry, I had to insult the troll. Maybe I need a cold shower. Yeah, it helps. It does help. It helps you keep you calm with these people. But I again, like, I just don't see the point in arguing with stupid because it's like beating your head against a brick wall and expecting the brick wall to change its mind. Like you're just going to damage yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see on my wall behind me there. I've got 4 plaques with which have got pictures of lions on. They've got some words of wisdom. One of them is lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. And yeah, that's very much the case here, I think. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And that's a good one actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to a fancy steakhouse for my birthday. Oh, that sounds good.
That's good, Amy. In fact, there's a conversation topic there. Lainey and myself have just booked into a fancy hotel for Lainey's birthday, which we're going there because it has an open flame grill, and we've been there before. It's about an hour away from our house. Not cheap, but the actual the food there is amazing. It really is. It's called the Prior in Caerleon, which is in Wales, just over the border into Wales. Really very, very good. It's well worth driving for an hour and spending rather a large amount of money, but it's going to be worth it. We've been there once before. We had a mini meet up there. We actually had a mini meet.
Yeah, that's the way to win Lainey over, mate. Tell her just how expensive dinner's going to be.
Well, she knows we got a joint bank account. She paid for it the other night, so there we go. I think it was. I think it's ribeyes that they specialize in there.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. There's always a more expensive way to do things or a cheaper way to do things. Like when you're cooking at home, for example, you always look for the cheapest way out. But I think it's fun to treat yourself as well. And then what better way to treat yourself than to like a ribeye or something healthy, something that's actually going to benefit you,
Yeah, I got into a bit of we went with a non-carnivore friend of mine who loves steak to a place called the Longhorn Bar and Grill near his house back in the summer, and we it was kind of a big boys or a little boys contest to see who could eat the most, and we ended up with a 1.2 kilogram, I think, T-bone steak each. And I think they were about 120 English pounds for each one. That was not cheap. That's about $240 Australian wise. Yeah, and I hasten to add that I finished mine. He didn't, on account of the fact that he decided to eat some of the French fries that went with it as well.
Yeah, I don't get. I'll tell you a story about that in a sec. But Jenny was just saying, it shows how diet affects the brain. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you look at vegans; they don't have that the cognitive function that they should have. They just don't get it. Well, yeah, actually, even people on Western diet too. Like, I was talking about my story before with all these people around me, and it's funny. Like, it really is quite funny. It's sad as well, because you see, younger people now trying, feeding babies, for example, and they're just feeding them shit food. Like they're feeding them all these, like snacks and all carbohydrate snacks and so on. And then you tell them, like, there's no nutrients in vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. And of course they don't believe you, because antioxidants and stuff, which is absolute bullshit. But yeah, it's kind of sad, but it's like they just can't connect the dots. It's like, I'm the healthiest one here after being stage 4 twice with all my organ damage, and I'm the healthiest one here. How is that possible?
Because you're a freak. You're a fluke.
Yeah, exactly.
Every one of us, or every 1 million of us around the world, we're all freaks. We're all flukes. We're all, we're lucky. We're not, there's not enough of us to make it significant, is there? It's just a shame that 99% of us who actually choose a carnivore diet report that we've had health. I want to see people for whom it hasn't seemed to work, but the vast majority is, it's
well, I mean, what is the carnivore diet though too? When the people say that it didn't work for them,
yeah, true, that's right.
What did they eat? What were they doing? That's the thing, and that's the problem too, isn't it? It's like they all have their version. Like here in Australia, there was a TV doctor that did this hit piece because of this one guy, and this so-called doctor is like that. TV, when they're news, they have this one expert for everything, right? And this doctor knows everything about every subject. He's a physicist, but he was commenting on diet, and he referred to this one young guy who was eating 4 pounds of cheese, of certain types of cheese, a day, every day. And he was referring to him as being on the carnivore diet. Now, who can eat 4 pounds of damn cheese every day? And he was saying that the cholesterol levels were so high that it was actually coming out of his pores in his skin. Right? And
I mean, cheese is part of the lacto-vegetarian diet as much as it is part of the carnivore diet.
Well, that's right. But apart from that, when people say it didn't work for them, what are they actually eating?
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't know how anyone could eat that much cheese in a day anyway. It's crazy.
Actually, this reminds me of a story. I've just talked about the lacto-veg. When I was taught that, I actually did a cookery qualification at school. So, and the teacher was an excellent lady called Mrs. Collicott. And I remember when she was talking about the different types of eating, she was talking about vegetarianism, and she was saying that vegetarians eat only, I can't remember, but she did say that there was a class called the lacto-vegetarian who also ate dairy. And she said, and then there's the vegans. And I think she said, and they're complete cranks. So that was my school teacher. So she obviously that would have been in 1980. So that was interesting.
Yeah. Well, vegetarians are kind of like the moderate cranks, and then you've got the vegans.
I mean, we'll go back to where veganism came from. It came from Leicestershire in England in 1944. Yeah. So when you think about it, veganism would have only been 36 years old in 1980 when Mrs. Collicott described them as complete cranks. Yeah. So it is a fad diet because it's just been around for the blinking of an eye, and for some reason, it seems to be sort of the accepted thing now.
Well, it's because it's pushed. It's pushed in our education, right? I mean, it's been pushed in our education since the forming of the Dietetics Association and nutrition institutes like universities, because it's owned by corporations like Kellogg's and so on.
Yeah.
But that's why it's made such a big impact. And of course it's pushed by the nefarious sort of groups of people that are behind all this kind of movement who are also, advocating for population control. All right. So that's the reason. These are very powerful sort of entities,
Yeah, certainly. It's one effective way of population control. Is obviously it damages your hormones. So it's
well, that's right. Exactly. It makes you very weak and susceptible to all the other poisons that they give us. So, so Lenny is just saying she's the one that booked the restaurant. So you didn't really have a choice then.
No, no. To be fair, it was a joint effort. We were sat at the kitchen table the other night. We were looking up seaside restaurants, and then I said, "Well, why don't we just go back to the Priory? Because we had a really good mini meet up there actually, with a couple of our carnival friends, and we loved it so much. I said, well, let's keep it simple, stupid. Let's just go back to KISS principle, isn't it? Go back on the tried and tested. So
£400 dinner. My goodness.
Well, no, that's not a £400 dinner. That's £400 night, including.
Oh, okay.
Including dinner.
Yeah, that's quite a high ticket. Yeah. I'll tell you what, you guys, when I'm in Japan, hopefully permanently, I'll have to get you guys to come visit, and I'll show you what a good meat restaurant is in Japan.
Oh yeah, we're just we're aging in reverse, so we're both 60 now. So yeah, we've got all the energy to come traveling. I think Alia would like us to go to Colombia next year, so that's something cool. South America ticks off. Maybe Japan the year after that, Dave. You never know.
Yeah, definitely. I'll show you. Like that's where you get. Not only is it cheap, I mean, super cheap, but just fantastic quality food in Japan. Really, absolutely.
Yeah.
Making a second order today from a local farmer I found online. Beautiful pastured beef. Sounds good. Sounds very good. I found Ireland absolutely beautiful meat. Oh, that's good, Laney. Excellent.
Yeah, that's the one which we get the beef belly from, and we get beef shoulder as well from that one. It's called I Devour. I don't think we got any fellow Brits in the chat tonight.
Yeah, it's a cult, brother. Yeah, the vegans. It is a damn cult, and the people behind it. It's a bloody cult as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Filthy pedos. Is that a test question for George? When
is Lady's birthday? Was the question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Rainey also things like.
Rainey.
Okay, Laney. Yeah. Also things like duck fat and ghee. Yeah, which often imported from France and India, etc. That doesn't sound very good. I can't tell you I'm Gemini. Okay, can't tell you age, of course. I'm Gemini. Yeah, Rainy. Yeah, Japan. Whoop whoop. Yeah, for sure. When I'm there, I'll let you know, and I'll get you guys to come out, and I'll show you the best meat restaurants there. You'll be eating meat all day, every day, and you'll be surprised just how cheap it is. It's incredible.
Are you anywhere near Dave, as in Mac, or
opposite end?
Oh, okay, yeah. Because Laney is very good friends with Dave Mack on Facebook as well. Because Laney loves.
Wouldn't be bad. I mean, like we could sort of all meet in Tokyo though. Like Tokyo is about the same. Just like Dave's in Osaka, and I live up in Sendai, so it's about the same distance.
Okay, so we can have a meet up with Dave, and that'd be good. I'd love to meet Dave. Well, I mean, I've done so many interviews now with him. I feel like he's an old friend of mine, which he is. But Laney has developed a particular affinity with Dave as well, because she keeps on finding jokes that she knows he will like and sending them to him. So it's a bad joke partnership, basically.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, Dave is very good with the old the corny dad jokes sort of stuff.
Yeah, the dad jokes he calls them, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I used to love your program. Was it on a Tuesday afternoon your end, which was the Aussie Carnival Connection? We had some great fun on that.
That was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, I enjoyed that. But everyone sort of got too busy and sort of went off their own different ways. So but yeah, that was fun. It was a good fun. Give him a bit of Aussie quiz as well.
Yeah, I used to like answering all the Aussie culture questions. I knew quite a lot of them, like Kevin Bloody Wilson and things on Eric Bogle on and In Excess and Mental as Anything. I think those are some of the answers.
Music and stuff like
What's
that.
a Smoko? I knew the answers to that as well.
Yeah. I can be a bit rainy sometimes. Fair enough.
This is true. That's actually true. When I first went carnival, Lainey was convinced it was a cult. And when I reached out to Lauren Tucker, who lives just up the road, she was absolutely terrified that I was going to run off with Lauren and we were going to take run off hand in hand together to America and take all our money with us. So she was very circumspect about me going to go and see Lauren. I knew Lauren for about 18 months before Lainey was confident enough to let me go and have lunch with her. But now, obviously, Lauren is Lainey's friend as well because she met her at on various occasions.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens. Yeah, but you know better, right, Lainey? Yeah. All right. Georgia, it took me 6 days to drive from East Coast to West Coast in Oz. Yeah, it's bigger than
I mean, it is huge, isn't it? Because Europe fits inside it 2 or 3 times over, I think.
About 3 times over. Like Japan, for example, just fits in my state 5 times. You know, like just in Queensland.
Yeah.
I
know that Great Britain fits inside California 3.5 times.
Yeah. Well, Australia has the same land mass as the US does. So, or actually, just
only 7 states and one 7 states, 1 territory, and 1 capital territory, Northern Territory.
Well, there's actually 2 territories. There's the Australian Capital Territory.
ACT,
is the ACT. And the coming about of that is, again, part of these, like the symbolism for these cultists that run the government and so on. But then you've got the Northern Territory where Darwin is, like in the middle up north. So there's those 2 territories. Then you got state-wise, you got Western Australia, which is like 1/3 of the country. Western Australia is huge. And then you have South Australia in between. Then you have Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland, and of course Tasmania.
Tasmania is the one that everybody always forgets because it's just sitting off the coast there, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's just an island that, like at the bottom, it's actually the closest island to the South Pole. So it's but then again, you got New Zealand, which is right next to us as well. So, but you can either call that another state of Australia or its own country. Really.
A bit like Britain being the 51st state of America at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Annabella is actually saying we haven't come to it yet, but she's saying that Queensland is the best state. And I've got to say that just about everybody I know from the carnival community in Australia is all in Queensland. Brad, Joshua, Josephine, yourself. And then I know that Jeannie now lives in New South Wales, so I thought she was the oddball, but apparently Jeannie was originally a Queenslander. So it seems that, Queensland is kind of the carnival capital of Australia.
Well, I'm actually originally from New South Wales, but I moved to Queensland because it was too close to Victoria.
Oh, okay. So but
Victoria is like a left hard sort of state of Victoria is the left hard state of Australia.
Okay.
So, but honestly, they're everywhere, aren't they? They're like a plague. So, I can smell steak sauce. You've been busy. That sounds good. Yeah. No, not kangaroo. Big dog got him. Oh, okay. He's in surgery. Oh, that's. Well, I hope he comes out of it all right, Josephine. That's horrible, actually. Like, where I used to live in Brisbane, actually, there's one of my neighbors. She had this tiny little poodle. It's a really cute little, very friendly little thing, but a big dog in the neighborhood ripped one of its front legs off. It recovered, but now he's only got 3 legs. But it's people don't control their pets or these big dogs, and that's a bloody nuisance. And they sort of give everyone a bad name too, because they don't look after them properly.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, Annabella. Good to see you here. So I hope your dog pulls through, and Josephine. So and hopefully your vet bill won't be too big either. That's another thing, isn't it, buddy? Vet bills are very expensive. I was being cheeky saying Queensland is the best. Yeah, I mean, obviously we know it's a joke, but yeah, I get you. It's there's always rivalry. Like, just the way people are. People will say, even in the same state, like there's in Queensland, they'll say, oh, like South Side is a like lowbrow compared to North Side sort of thing, and the rest of them. And then you have we have professional football, we have like rugby, we have what is it called, state of was it? I can't even think of it. I don't watch it so much, but you have competition every year. There's a competition between Queensland and New South Wales, and to me, honestly, the whole thing is it's very tribal. Just seems bloody stupid to me, honestly.
It's the same. I mean, we're only a tiny island, but we've got 52 counties, and there's quite a lot of inter-county rivalry here as well.
Yeah. I mean, you could live a street apart, and like they'll say, like, "Oh, our street's better," sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just
you want to try living and working in Beirut, because that is that is sectarian. Like you literally cross one street from a Maronite Christian sector straight into a Shia Islam sect. So you've got to be really, really careful. You've got the Sunni Islam. You got there are various different subsections there, and you've got to know exactly which area you are working at any given time.
Yeah, they're bloody animals.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to, you think that we're not hunter-gatherer or tribal people anymore, just have a look at that. The way people still behave. Of course, we are definitely hunter-gatherers diet, as well. State of origin. That's it, Annabella. Thank you very much. Yeah. State of origin. Yeah. Couldn't think of it. Yes. Thank you, Aaron. Praying for your dog, Josephine. Yeah, Jojo, thinking of you. I have small dogs, always cautious. Yeah, you got to sort of keep an eye on them, don't you? Jack Russell ripped my rabbit's leg off when I was a little girl. That's horrible. Yeah. I had rabbits when I was a kid too. Actually got neighbor's dog killed them all. So, yeah, irresponsible pet owners are a pain in the ass, and they're the reason why, or they're certainly the excuse for regulated pet ownership in Australia. It's very difficult to have a pet in Australia now, even a dog or cat. Apart from the price, I mean, the price of dogs and cats now is ridiculous. It's like buying a car, but you have to get licenses and vaccines and all this other crap that you have to do for them.
Australia's got a bit weird, hasn't it, Dave? I mean,
it's completely controlled by communists, and you can't even have a pet rabbit in certain states, because of the out of control breeding and all that sort of stuff. That you can't. I mean, you can literally have. Like you can go to a different country and you can have a pet kangaroo, for example. You can't have a pet kangaroo in Australia. It's illegal, which is crazy. I mean, they're bloody everywhere, right? But they simply assume that no one knows how to take care of these animals. And if you go to like a like a koala park or an animal park or anywhere like that, and it's a really odd thing. Like if you go to, for example, the koala park here in Brisbane, you're not allowed to touch the koalas because you don't know how to handle them and all this sort of crap, right? But if you pay $50, then you can hold them for a photo. It's so hypocritical.
Of course it is. Yeah.
It's unbelievably hypocritical, you know. And then they have this like kangaroo enclosure where if you can go and buy some pellet food for them and you can pat them and play with them all you want. But, you know, as soon as you go outside and if you try and take care of them at home or anything like that, they won't let you do that. It's illegal. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Like all these left-hard sort of laws that we have in Australia, they're all so hypocritical. It's not funny. But you can there are actually people who have have kangaroos for pets in Japan.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, seriously.
Is that saying slip, slap, slop still prevalent in Australia?
That started in the 80s. The slip, slop, slap crap. Yeah. You're trying to sell sunscreen, obviously, but and you know, trying to convince
on a t-shirt, slap on a hat, and slop on the sunscreen.
Yeah, slip on a t-shirt, slap on a hat, and slop on some sunscreen. Yeah. It's incredible, and it's something that was a very successful sort of campaign too. But and it changed, like it has evolved over the years, but every now and then they still bring it out. You know, make sure you get your. And they're still teaching that to kids.
He's giving us a quick lesson here as well. Apparently, slide on some sunglasses has now appeared in the saying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bloody commies. But it's a nanny state. You know, people don't see like everything's about protection. You know, because they take away your freedoms because you know that no one wants the responsibility of looking after themselves. And of course. It's not the fact that there's seed oils in everything you eat. It's because you know the sun is just not natural for us to be out in the sun. You know, we're not supposed to be out in the sun enjoying it. Yeah, I don't think anyone should make a pet out of a kangaroo. No, I mean, yeah, I don't sort of I like to keep them wild, obviously, but I do feed them here. But I think that same with birds. Actually, I don't like keeping birds in a cage, for example. I do like feeding birds, but I like to have them visit and then go and live their life, sort of thing. But it just seems to me that it's ironic and somewhat hypocritical that it's fine if you pay a lot of money, but it's not fine. You know, it's illegal if you don't. You know.
Yeah,
it's such a hypocritical sort of stance on everything they do here. Yeah. Rabbits aren't native in Queensland, right? No, they're not native. They're not native to Australia, full stop. The rabbits were sort of they were brought over, you know, during like very early years in Australia. For I think there was same with the fox. Actually, there are foxes here in Australia that the British, the sort of the British brought over for their fox hunt sort of thing. But of course, the breeding has gotten out of control, and now there are foxes everywhere, which actually eat a lot of the Australian wildlife and so as well. But that's pretty much the biggest predator we have here at the moment, except for wild dogs. And wild dogs, the dingo, for example, what they call the dingo, actually looks very much like the Japanese Shibakan dog. But that actually came across here with the Aborigines, what we call Aborigines today, who actually came down from India. They brought dogs with them. And the inhabitants here in Australia before the Aborigines were pygmy tribes of the rainforest that the Aborigines pretty much wiped out. Yeah. So none of it's really native to Australia originally, like the dogs, the dingoes, the foxes, the rabbits. None of these things we actually have a large number of camels in Australia too, especially.
I was about to mention the camels because they were released by the Camel Corps, the British Army Camel Corps, I think, or something.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the British Army Camel Corps came out when they brought them out to Australia, and they were just let loose. And there's actually a very large number of camels. Now, again, the government every now and then goes out in these helicopters, gunships, and they sort of cull them off every now and then because there's so many of them. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many things here that is just completely hypocritical. Yeah. I don't think kangaroos should be made pets. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, unless you have a huge yard. That's the thing. They need space. Kangaroos do need a lot of space. They're running or hopping. They cover a lot of distance in these sort of things. But I don't think you really need to have them as pets too. But you should be at least be allowed to take care of them if if they're around. And that word slide has been added for sunglasses. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, exactly, Rick. Big Brother protects itself. Yeah. It's always been whenever freedoms have been taken away from people, it's always under the guise of, like the common welfare or health or, protecting a certain population. It's just total hypocritical bullshit. So they still use slip, slop, slap in the UK schools today. Yeah, they're still using the schools here too. Yeah. Skin cancer is brutal here. Yeah, my skin is so fair. I've had a lot of skin cancer. The sun is much stronger in Australia than in some other countries. Yeah, I mean, Australia has always been a hot country. It's always been a very hot country. But again, I think I know you've had trouble, Annabelle, and of course, a lot of people have before you as well. But again, I think most of the trouble comes down to that standard Western diet, and the damage that it does to our hormones, especially our immune system. Like, we're talking about when we're talking about lowering our immune system, we're talking about xenoestrogens are the biggest cause of that. It's these seed oils. The biggest reason why we get bad bad sunburn, bad sun reactions, okay, is because of the lowering of our hormones and our immune system. The seed oils are such a strong xenoestrogen. I mean, it destroys obviously it lowers your cholesterol production, and of course that lowers your testosterone production, and that is going to lower your EPO production, and that's going to lower your blood cell production, obviously. But apart from that, all your D hormones are synthesized in the cholesterol as well. So that's our sun protection, our D hormones that comes out through our skin. Okay. But then you have the low testosterone on top of that, and the hormone recovery and everything like that. So yeah, of course the sun is going to be very, very hard on us because of that, simply because of that. And when it comes to there's all sorts of stupid arguments that people come up with, like different skin color and so on. That is the reason why white people can't handle the sun in Australia. It's total bullshit. It's the food that's the problem, And yes, the sun is stronger here because of our local climate. We do have a lot more summer than some other countries like Europe, for example. But we are still adept at being out in the sun and being out in play, as long as you don't get too much of it, of course. But if you're on a proper healthy diet and have a proper healthy lifestyle, the sun will only enhance your skin and enhance your health. And in fact, in recent studies in recent years, the sun has been proven that the sun actually helps to fight cancer. Okay, not cause it. So the whole argument that we need to slap on sunscreen, for example, and that we need to stay out of the sun, it's exactly the same argument they gave us for the last few years, trying to keep everyone indoors and out of the sun. It's completely bogus bullshit. They want us sick all the time. Feed the ducks, they stay around. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't have to. It's remarkable actually. Ducks are quite smart that way. I guess they know where the food is. They stay there, and as long as they feel comfortable, and you don't have to go chasing them. Then they come to you. It's good. I got big ducks in here. Yeah, we have wombats. Yeah, wombats are great. I love having wombats around. We have different holes in where burrows where wombats have been, and same with echidna. And we have all kinds of animals here, wild animals that don't feed, but they're always around. Yeah. Have you eaten rabbit, David? No, actually, I have tried it. I tried it when I was a kid, but it is very lean, or when I had it anyway, probably it's very dry.
I was brought up on a farm here in Somerset, and I had a shotgun and air rifle, and rabbits were my main, wild game. We again, you have to add bacon to the mix to give it the necessary fat.
Yeah, you have to add a lot of fat to it. Yeah. I don't like it. It's too dry. It's kind of, after spending more than about 12, 14 years eating just chicken breast. Yeah, I don't want to go back to dry meat like that.
No.
So, camels, yeah, I would walk a mile for a camel. Yeah, camels are. I mean, these wild camels, but yeah, they're kind of strange looking animals, aren't they? But they're also good for Australia. Australia is one of the driest countries in the world, so actually they're quite adapted. Surviving.
I've eaten camel in Egypt. It was quite nice. It was quite strong flavored, but it was good.
Yeah, that'd be a good ruminant animal too, wouldn't it?
No, it's not. It's a false ruminant, apparently. I checked this the other day. It's only got 3 chambers, not 4. But it's known as a false ruminant or something. But it's missing one of the ruminant chambers. But it's close. It's very close. Very close.
Probably that would probably be because of the fact that it stores so much in its humps, like it's fat in its humps. Yeah. So that's how it keeps it. It's water sort of stored in those fat cells in the hump. So yeah, still quite fatty though, I would imagine. Yeah. You'd love the UK. Ducks are everywhere. Yeah.
They certainly are.
Yeah,
going to the ducks at the park is quite a well-known sort of pastime. Oh dear, Schmook. We up. Well, it looks like we got Schmook. I don't know. So sorry about that, mate, if you're offended, but I'm afraid the carnivore weight loss was very rude to one of our number, Aaron. Not on this channel, but elsewhere. I do not like people who launch into females. In practice, it's the English in me. I don't know, but what he did was unforgivable. He came on here and started to cause trouble. So I apologise, Shmoo, if you were offended by that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't really know anything about this person offhand myself, but it just just to keep the peace. I think it was just
yeah. I mean, suggesting that the books
maybe I'll go check it out later. Anyway.
Was that really acceptable behaviour, Shmoo? Was it acceptable for him to insult Erin, our friend, on
yeah, I think
on other channels? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sorry if it upset you, but yeah, I don't see the need for people to be insulting anyway. So if they don't agree, that's fine. That's fine. But you don't have to be insulting about it anyway. Crack time. Yeah. I was busy, but I heard you mention dingoes. They've only been around 4,000. Yeah, exactly. They came over with the so-called today's Aborigines from India. With the Aborigines. They haven't been around for 65,000 years. There is no civilization around the world that has lasted that long on this planet. that's all just propaganda. There were German genealogists actually. Sorry, I just had to fix my camera. There are genealogists that have gone through this before, but of course, it doesn't fit the narrative. So, of being here for 65,000 years, mind you, the biggest thing they built in this whole time that they were here is a grass hut, and the country of Australia was built in the last 200 years. So, it's all just ridiculous. The whole narrative these days is just absolutely stupidity. Honestly, like in the next 100 years, people are going to look back on this era as the stupid ages. Honestly,
This is true,
especially
in the UK, because we voted him in.
Yeah, that's right.
We can't seem to get rid of him at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, there was a by-election last night though in the UK, and the sitting party had never lost it in about 60 years, but they lost it. They came third last night, so it was a quick lesson. Anyway, I'm not Bart Kay, so I'm not going to go on about it.
I don't burn the same way on carnivore. No, I agree. Me too, Annabella. Especially after the chemo, because my immune system was so low and my hormone production was so bad. Like honestly, if I opened the curtains, I'd get sunburnt sitting in the living room, right? But yeah, I could spend all day out in the sun now. I might get a little bit red, but the next day it's gone. Like or I'll be tanned, just a little bit tanned. It's an amazing difference. Absolutely an amazing difference. I didn't believe it possible, honestly. So, but yep, quite a difference. I spent a lot of time in the sun. Yeah, that's right, Rick.
That's because there's a lot of sun in Florida. I would challenge Rick to come and spend a lot of time in the sun over here.
Yeah, yeah. How's your possum, Dave? He's great. He's great. This little possum is so cute. This little possum started nesting himself in my potting shed. I've got a potting shed where
we see. I think most of us have seen at least a clip or two of your little possum.
So I've been been stealing some fruit from the neighbors, and I've been feeding him every day. So I'm gonna have to start buying some fruit just for this little possum, because he's fattening himself up for winter. It's starting to cool down now, ready for winter. And so I've been giving him some fruit. This morning I gave him some grapes and an old banana that was like banana so old the whole skin was all black. It's so funny, but he's chomping down on that. But he's a very friendly little guy now that he's quite comfortable with me patting him now, like stroking his back and his tail. So he's very friendly little guy. He's very soft, kind of feels like a koala actually, same fur. So but I've got 4 different names for him at the moment. Like I was going to call him Basil. My wife wants me to call him Gus Gus. Annabella suggested Pete, and Rick wants me to call him Dinner. So I might call him Stew. Yeah, I might call him Stew, like as in possum stew.
My friend of mine had bought a rabbit as a pet for his 3-year-old child, and he called it Christmas lunch. That was that went down quite well.
Yeah. Well, like some of my, when the last lot of chickens we used to have, we'd have KFC, fried, spicy and so on. So
yeah.
Before I go swimming, I'm taking before and after pictures to see the difference. Yeah. I don't like sunscreen though. It's bad as it burns me more. Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't think it stops anyone from getting burnt anyway, really, sunscreen. All you are doing is absorbing a crap lot of chemicals, and a lot of them, again, xenoestrogens and so on, that through your skin. So anything like that, I think we should be avoiding, putting on our skin anything like that. I don't even like to wear synthetic clothing. All right, it all has to be cotton or something natural. you know, I know I can be a bit extreme with that sort of stuff, but I really don't see the point in, you know, I mean, it's a really, I mean, you can't avoid everything in life these days, like, you know, because it's everywhere. You can't avoid everything, but you have to do your best to sort of mitigate and change what you can, you know, like the things that I can change, I will, and the
Yeah.
things I can't, I'm not going to stress about, you know.
I've got the serenity prayer above me, Dave, which is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So
Yeah,
pretty much sums up
yeah,
what you just
exactly.
said.
That's exactly right. That's all you can do, you know. Yeah, I was still burning 3 years in, but it's gradually getting better. Oh, that's good. Excellent, Brad. Um, must be the seed oils, yeah, that remain in the system. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because, um, okay, the reason why I think this is just my theory, okay, but the reason why seed oils stay in the system for so long is because they are fat cell storable. So if you have, so the more fat you have, for example, then obviously the longer it's going to take for your body to get to clear these seed oils out of your system. Okay. Um, so it just depends on, you know, like body composition as to how long these seed oils are going to stay in your system. But any seed oils that you eat are going to be in there for a long time, no matter what. So again, yeah, it's really about cleaning the whole system out, isn't it? Because it's an ecosystem that we need to
Is
keep
it
it clean
referred
and
to
keep
as
it
the
healthy.
half-life, Dave? Is it the half-life of seed oil? Is that, can we refer
Yeah,
to it?
pretty much. Yeah, the half-life of seed oils. Yeah, but for they say on average that the seed oils will stay in, like, every time you eat that seed oil, okay, that's going to stay in your system for about 2.5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's because these are oils, they are fat cell storable. So if you have any kind of fat cells, like obviously everyone does, which means it's going to be stored in those fat cells, especially because of the Randall cycle. If you eat, you're going to be, if especially in protein, in processed food, you have the carbohydrate content and sugar and everything. So
Yeah.
it's, you're going to store most of that, right? And that is going to take a long time to get rid of. And until you get fat adapted, like clean fat adapted, make sure you cut out all seed oils. And that includes things like, you know, so-called health industry foods like protein powders and things like that, because they all have these seed oils. Even like some of the more considered to be healthy versions of protein powders, one, they are heavily processed, dried out powders for a start. So you're really not going to absorb many decent nutrients anyway for a start. Then you have the artificial sweeteners, colorings, and flavorings on top of that. And they all have seed oils in them as well. So these are things that you got to be careful about. And even if you're only doing, say, one or two every now and then, you're still sort of topping up that seed oil sort of stuff, you know. So I try to avoid that kind of stuff as much as
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only time that I can ever get caught out is when I'm having to eat out, not on my home turf, and obviously eating carnivore. But you just don't, you can't guarantee that there's no seed oils being used in the cooking process.
No, that's right.
That's the problem.
No, exactly. Hey, John, how you doing? Good to see you. Aaron, I've always tried my best to sunburn or just get a tan, but I can't. Yeah, I mean, it is in our natural pigment. Like we're just, I mean, yes, we can tan a little bit, but it's always a temporary thing, you know, because the reason why a tan is temporary, like if you just, is because we are always generating new cells. Our body is always regenerating, always. And that comes out, you can see that. That's what a tan shows you, that because otherwise you could tan your skin just like leather, for example, and one and done, you'd be tan for the rest of your life. But the reason you don't hold on to that tan is because you are regenerating new skin cells every day, you know. So this is good proof of that, and, you know, just how much the body recovers and regenerates. It's an incredible system. It really is. Yeah, GTS. Yeah, JTS. Yep. Yeah. We had camel. A camel farm came to my primary school. Oh, cool. We got to ride camels at school. Oh, that's cool. They have they do have kind of, yeah, I suppose a few different farming styles here in Australia. You can get emu farms as well as camel farms, and I think there's even a few ostrich farms around, not far from where I am, actually. But yeah, emu farms are getting quite popular now too. Emus are great. I think they're quite friendly. They're very gentle sort of bird, actually. The emu.
Are
I'd
they
love to have.
native? Are they native to Australia? Emus.
Yeah, emu are native to Australia.
Ostrich is an import from Africa, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're from northern Africa. But emus are really quite friendly, and if you go to like the koala park, for example, in Brisbane, you can actually pat and feed these guys quite easily, and they make huge eggs. I'd love to try one of their eggs sometime, because I mean, imagine an egg like that. One egg would be an omelette, Yeah.
There's a few sort of the big flightless birds. The other ones are the rhea, I think, isn't it? That I don't know if you know anything about the rhea, Dave, but is that Asian bird? I think, I suspect.
What is it?
Rhea, RHEA. I think it's an Asian, the Asian version of the ostrich.
Yeah, must be Asian. There's another big bird that we have here. It's called the cassowary. They're quite.
Oh yeah, aren't they the ones who eat the seed? They can only eat one. Or doesn't a plant require cassowaries to proliferate or to survive?
Yeah, I think there's a number of plants that do. They're a rainforest bird. They're very territorial though, and they can be quite vicious. They've actually killed more people in Australia than crocodiles.
They've got a bright red bill, I think, or something. They've
got a crest on their head,
right.
like a bone, a big bone. It kind of looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
and they kind of look like those dinosaur movies, Jurassic Park. Those raptors. They have these really long, sharp talons.
Yes, on it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got really. Yeah, they've got them as well.
Yeah. Okay.
See, just poured some butter onto the tray. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, and oh my gosh, it's so good.
Erin's been putting butter on her food. Quickly, get the news flash out, guys. Big news.
I've not tried. Yeah, actually, Rick says he likes. I was told camel meat was tasty. I have not heard that, actually. I've not tried camel meat. Yeah, might be worth doing, actually. Maybe we should do a hunting trip out in the middle of Australia somewhere. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. Like, if you are in the desert, all right, or in a rainforest, or on a deserted island or something like that, the safest thing for you to eat is going to be an animal, right? I wouldn't mind trying that, actually. I wonder it got me curious now what they might taste like.
They're very gamey. I've eaten them. They're over in Egypt, on the banks of the Nile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Lenny Juliet. I'm having a visual of Rick with a camel. Yeah, you bagged son. I can just imagine Rick trying to drag a camel back on his bicycle at the moment.
Right, exactly, absolutely. Because Milton would carry it in his mouth, wouldn't he? He had no problems with that. So he liked the Black Panther.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just going to jump ahead a second here, Dave. I'm just going to show Erin, or show that is my copy of the Jerome K. Jerome book, Three Men in the Boat, which I think is one which Erin ordered off the internet on my recommendation. That's an interesting source of primary source of the way the Victorians ate and behaved, and it's highly recommended.
Okay, very good. Mm.
I sent you Grandma's song, didn't I, Dave? Actually, about the doctor's prescription.
Oh yes. You sent that, yeah.
Yeah, the one.
I was reading it this morning.
Yeah, the 1 pound of the 1 pound of beef is
every 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good prescription. And like, it's amazing just how much just in what 2 or 3 generations we've lost.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Actually, I'll give you a little bit of a read. We'll go back to, but I just want to read something. The 3 lads were basically preparing to set off, but Harris said the great thing is to make a good breakfast, and he started with a couple of chops, saying that he would take these while they were hot and the beef could wait. So a Victorian breakfast was chops and beef. No mention of toast. No mention of anything apart from chops and beef. So somewhere along the line, folks, we lost the habit. That book was written in 1889. So
that's actually that's about that's when these habits were starting to be taken away from us because of, Kellogg's and everything like that was started.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been between Banting and Kellogg's.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to
you're right. Thirdly, we don't get enough sun in the UK. Well, it hasn't done you any harm for the last 2,000 years or so. So everyone else thought it was fine.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the thing is that's how the rest of the world makes so much money out of us, because we've got to go and chase us somewhere whenever we want it.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's why the Brits like the vacation in Spain and the south of France.
Yeah. Well, that's right. We go and terrorize the Mediterranean.
Yeah,
got a bad reputation over there as well.
Well, unfortunately these days, you get obnoxious, especially kids, when the younger kids, when they travel, I find some of the worst travelers in Japan, for example, young Australians, that they're very obnoxious, but that doesn't mean everyone is. It's just, but you do collect a reputation like that. And it just sort of comes with the territory, I guess, unfortunately. And, these days, it really is a reflection of the education system too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. And the nutrition as well, of course.
Yeah. We'll say you
had.
People will say you've had or you've had. Sorry, Anna, but I'm not real sure about that one.
I think that was probably a foreshortened.
Okay, yeah.
Type.
I released the Watchmen the other. I released the Watchmen the other day. Oh, okay, song.
That would be a song. That'd be a song.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm with you. Yeah, possum for dinner. Yeah, possum stew, mate. I'll be on the lookout for it. Yeah. Okay, good. David, people would say to have fruit addiction. Oh, okay.
That's what.
People will say I have a fruit addiction. Is that it? Maybe. I don't care.
You have you have a fruit addiction.
Oh yeah, heart attack possum. Yeah. Oh, the possum has a fruit addiction for sure. Yeah, he definitely has a fruit addiction.
Yeah, I think what Annabella's getting at is the fact that you go around getting fruit off your neighbours.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it looks like you got the fruit addiction.
Yeah, now I'm with you. Yeah. They say you're sounding like Rick with Miss Kitty and pet possum on the way. Yeah, hopefully. Of course, I can't be too voicious about it, because here, if you have a pet possum, people are going to come take them away, like they did in New York.
But what happens if that possum simply chooses to come and live with you? Does that qualify him as a pet, or is he just chosen to move in with you?
I'm just going to say, look, he's a wild possum. He just decided to take up a nest there, and I just give him a bit of fruit. It's really. I'm not going to get too.
Yeah, so you're not calling him a pet. He's just chosen to live on your premises. It's a bit like a cat, really. Have you ever heard the dogs have owners, or cats just choose to live with you, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, yeah. I usually release one a week. Wow. Okay, that's cool. I don't use
Yeah,
sunscreen
sorry,
and stuff.
just
Yeah,
point out,
that's
John.
good.
John does really intricate videos, which is why it takes him such a long time
Oh,
to do.
okay.
We do
Oh, that's
appreciate
good.
the work that you do put into it, John, because we all
Mm.
love the videos that you do.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's good to hear, Annabella. Yeah, don't use sunscreen. These things are toxic. I mean, again, like we tend to think like we largely talk about diet, but this stuff goes right across the board. And there are good doctors out there who will advise against this stuff, against using sunscreen. Um, I actually did put that in a video I think I've recently did, not recently, maybe last year. But yeah, you got to avoid those chemicals as much as possible. This stuff is really bad. Brad, thanks for the $5 super chat, mate, or super sticker. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Good show. Thank you, Aaron. Just because this community is awesome. Yeah, it is a good community, generally speaking. Yeah, that's right. You need to find balance between too little and too much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's always, it doesn't matter, like even if you are on the healthiest lifestyle, the all these great stimulants and so on, you can get too much of a good thing. All right. For example, when we talk about supplements, for example, yes, there are like great amino acids, for example, like well, actually, any, it doesn't really matter, even creatine, things like that. But just adding more at a like an uncontrolled amount, sort of thing, or in out of balance, anything that throws your ecosystem out of balance is going to end up being a bad thing. And even lifestyle habits such as breath work. This is why I talk about the difference between an upregulating and a downregulating breathwork session. If you do too much upregulating, that's going to put you in a sympathetic nervous state. If you do ice bath for too long, for example, if you do say 30 minutes a day, that's too long. You're actually going to need longer for your mitochondria to recover. So you really only need, you are much healthier doing these things in small spurts and small sections on a regular basis, rather than doing say like one long session every now and then, or even doing a long session every day. So it's all about moderation. We would never have spent more than 10 minutes or so in a cold river, for example. Okay, like even if we're going for a swim or something, like, or hunting something, we wouldn't spend that much time in it. And it's the same with the regulating your nervous system and everything else. And diet, yes, even though you're on the carnivore diet, eat to your full sort of thing, you still need to work out how much is the best, or what's going to be more comfortable for you. You still do not want to have 5 or 6 meals a day, right? Now, of course, that's nuanced. Like if you have someone who has like a stomach problem, for example, you may need smaller meals throughout the day. But generally speaking, you do not want to be constantly grazing like a cow. So it's all about balance. Yeah. Thank you, John. I really appreciate that. Really do. Yeah, my skin healed really well after surgery. Oh, good. I've found that too, actually. I found that I mean, we always have healed, even on the standard Western diet, because this is why you get scar tissue and everything like that. If you cut yourself, for example, you still heal because you are still regenerating. But I have found that all happens a lot faster on the carnivore diet, and of course with the other lifestyle habits, and just constantly regenerating. It's
Yeah, we got my friend Carl over here, Carl Day of the Primal Lifestyle. He had a skin cancer back along, and he had to have it removed, and he had stitches after the surgery. And when he went back a week later, as he was instructed to do so, the nurse who took his stitch out gave him a ticking off for leaving it for so long. He said, "Well, no, I've come back after a week, like I was told to." She said, "Well, there's 3 weeks worth of healing here." She had trouble getting the stitches out. So that was another classic case of being on the carnivore diet and healing much quicker than he was expected to do. So she didn't believe him that it'd only been a week since the operation. So that's another classic case of it.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Like I said, man, we do regenerate. Every cell in our body regenerates on a constant basis. Like we are constantly regenerating. And obviously, if you're going to give yourself the right stimulus, the right food, the right nutrients, then obviously that all those processes are going to be much easier, much faster, isn't it?
That's true.
I got my book. George recommended in the mail today. Good. I got my cabbie hat. Okay. It would be a challenge for sure. Oh yes, yeah, dragging the camel. It'd be a challenge. Yeah, for sure. Actually, yeah, Rick's so tall though too. I think he'd probably be about the same height as the camel.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. My carnivore hat is maroon. Okay, I got it off.
Maroon color. Yeah.
So
maroon berry of the parachute regiment here in the UK.
Yep. I found the audio book on YouTube and plan to listen. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too. It's I love audiobooks actually because you can go about doing other things, and like I actually have Audible as well, so I get I listen to quite a number of audiobooks throughout the day while I'm doing other things. It's I find it very useful, very useful. It's a tiny line on my head. It's good. Okay. No, you're not being silly, Annabelle. You're good. Yeah. Cats have servants. Yeah, exactly. Cats have servants. Yeah, maids basically. You clean up after me and feed me, and that's about it. And they don't really care about anything else. Yeah, affectionate when they want to be. I noticed when I worked out the post office. Okay, the post office. I put on sunscreen. I would actually sort of burn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cats are the best. Yeah, cats are great. I do like cats very much. What's up with the raw clothes? Oh, okay, okay, radioactive wear. That was actually mine. I was yeah, I'm still sort of working on a supplier at the moment, but I started a clothing brand that radioactive wear because basically I've got so much radiation pouring out of me that I'm like a small nuclear reactor. So and it's active wear. Yeah, we have 2 cats. Love them both. Yeah, love them the best. Cats are great. Be right back. Good job. There's a cat in the kettle of my Peking moon. On the kettle. Okay. It's a song I sing most days around. Okay, it's a song. Okay.
There's yeah, I don't know that particular song. There's one which is quite relevant to us at the moment because we're going to Michigan in September, and it was by Hoyt Axton, I think, in 1979. Della and the Dealer, and a dog called Jack, and a cat called Kalamazoo. And I know Rick is going to pick me up because he's going to say the gal from Kalamazoo is the most famous big band song, but I remember the cat called Kalamazoo from that song very, very, very well. And we're going to Kalamazoo in September, so there we go.
Oh, cool.
Oh, interesting enough, Kalamazoo shares an airport with Battle Creek, and we all know what happens at Battle Creek, don't we?
Yeah.
Good old John Harvey Kellogg. And actually, I was talking to Robin, who is hosting the event the other day, and she actually worked for Kellogg's at one time, and now she's a full-blown
okay. Yeah. I ate so much at the beginning of carnival. I was ravenous all the time. I ate a whole brisket, wow, in a day once. I somehow lost weight from it as well. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, you're going through a state where you finally giving your body the nutrients that it was craving or needing, and your metabolism obviously was just eating it all up. And this is the thing, like you can eat as much as you need or as much as you want on the carnivore diet, as long as it's you have it in the right proportions. All right, like you don't want to eat a ton of sort of, we don't want to eat kilos and kilos of dairy, for example, but still going to lose weight because it's just your body is metabolizing that so well, and it's healing. You're building tissue that has been worn down on years and years of a standard Western diet. You know? So think about, I mean, I was what, 42 when I started this, so like 40 odd plus years for some of us even longer.
56 and a half.
Yeah, so that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage to sort of repair, and you're going to need to eat a lot. Before carnivore, I was keto carnivore. I had doctors and nurses complimented me on my skin so well. Yeah, definitely cool. I had a beautiful tortoiseshell cat. Okay, she was very affectionate. Yeah, they can be very affectionate, some cats. I love cats too. I think they're wonderful animals and great little predators too. Some of the best predators in the world. But yeah, they're good fun. They're good value. I think it doesn't matter what animal you like or what animal. I think it's very good for us. Humans are a social animal as well, and I think most animals are. There's never a loner animal. Even cats, have large. Like if they were wild, they always live in packs, right? They live in groups, and I think it's just it's also very good for our nervous system to be around animals because they are unconditional, and they I don't know, they just make you feel good just being around them. So they help to keep you calm as well. They can piss you off, but they, generally speaking, they're pretty good.
We are the living proof that we are a group animal. I mean, the carnivore community is just amazing, isn't it? We've come together over the course of the last few years, and now we are. I've lost count of the number of friends I've actually got out there, but it's and they're from all over the world. As I say, you're in Queensland. I've got even my friend Dawn Resting Witch Face down in California. So from California to Queensland, it's we're everywhere nowadays.
Yeah,
and we choose to hang out with each other. That's a great thing. Now, when I first started on Carnivore, the live stream wasn't really, and the chat wasn't really there. It was, you were watching recorded interviews all the time, and you could comment.
Yeah.
But the live stream really has taken off in the last few months, the year, I suppose. And we have a community on the in chat now, and everybody. Half the time, you do realize, Dave, that half the time they're not listening to us, don't you? Half the time they're just chatting amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But anyway, it's been a great night tonight.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been very good. But yeah, you're right. Like, but even groups like vegans and all the other, they have their groups as well.
Oh yeah.
It's just, we are all very much sociable, sort of. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Jeez, I really appreciate that very much.
Yeah, good one. Dave deserves it.
People in general, or animals in general, we are all connected, whether we like it or not. We all breathe the same air together. We all live on the same planet and deal with the same environment and so on. And I think that people sort of, they need that sociable sort of connection. Too much time alone can sort of breed anxiety, and all sorts of other problems. But there's a real connection there, and people sort of, I don't know, they feel when they feel alone, that sort of, that's where depression and things like that sort of set in. So I think it's important. Community is, we are just a very large community, so it's really good to find like-minded people as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's also very safe for us. I mean, the other day I drove to work. In fact, you know about this, Dave, because you commented on it. I drove to work, and I usually I'm on with Grandma So I say, right, I'm leaving for work now. And then I park up and I say, I've arrived safely at work. There was a bit of a drama going on in work, and there was an international inquest. Where is George? Because I failed to check in. And you said, and you were the only one to say, no worries, mate. He'll turn up when he's ready. But Grandma was panicking, Lainey was panicking. You were the only voice of reason there. It was, but that is the power of the carnivore community. I go missing for 10 minutes, and the international carnivore police are put on red alert. That is how serious we take our community, folks. It really, it's amazing.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. But yeah. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. People find a connection and they're happy with, and that's a good thing. I like that. So yeah, that's cool. Alrighty, so well, geez, that 2 hours has gone very quick.
Actually, 2 hours. I suppose it's 1:30, 2:15.
Yeah,
it's now quarter to 2 in the morning over here. So. Actually, no, I've got to go and rapidly get a coffee down my neck before Grandma comes on live in a minute. So we're going to carry on the motion.
No rest for the wicked, mate. No rest for the wicked. That's right. No,
I think it'll probably be. It was 4 actually because I came on with you last week. And I went on to say hello to Grandma. 2 hours later, I was still sitting in a chat room. So 4 o'clock in the morning it was last. And that's not even with drinking, for God's sake. It's just incredible, isn't it? Anyway, I think we're going to knock on there. Dave, we were going to do a serious one about the history of our low carb movement. Maybe.
Well, we'll make that next week. Eh?
I think what we're going to have to do with that one is we're going to have to do recorded, because it's too much fun in chat to actually take it.
Oh, that might work actually.
Yeah, I think we'll do. I remember the very first recording that you and I did. We got so carried away we had to split it into 2. It might have been the one involving Christine Kearns. I can't remember, but I remember
I think we did mention that, and I think we talked about quite a bit actually, but yeah.
So I think our safest bet is if we want to do a serious one about history, I think we should do a recorded, and we'll
for sure.
But next week, hopefully, it won't be just me on the line. We could do Rick or I don't know, Erin or somebody.
That would be great. Actually, I'd love to get Rick on here, or actually anyone can join
Erin's
us.
a great guest as well. But any of the people on here tonight all make great guests. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I always put the link in the chat, so if anyone wants to join us, you're more than welcome. So yeah, just remember that for next week it'll be Wednesday evening my time, and of course Saturday morning again.
Saturday morning. This is the best time for me to join in the fun.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, well, we're going to leave it there then, everyone, and I guess everyone will probably move over to Barb's live. 24/7.
It's just a mobile house.
Yeah. All right then, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us. I really appreciate all the attendance today, and I hope to see you all again next week. And I'll try and get some more videos out for you very soon too.
Good night, everybody. Been lovely to see you.